Buy Google.com, a headache for upgraders. iOS, what you need to know. Sign or pin, what's the difference? Control the cursor with your brain. More subscription services, a Facebook rant, our rumors, picks, and so much more, all queued up around your calls coming up next.
Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip, unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pause it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it, Technologic.
Live from studios in South Hall on the beautiful campus of Jacksonville State University, it's the Hey Techies Show. Now, here are your hosts in chairs that should have been thrown out years ago, Michael and Bruce.
Welcome to the Hey Techies Show. Thank you, Whit. Man, what a great promo for that now.
Sounds awesome.
It does.
Bruce is back, baby.
Bruce is back. And welcome to Bruce and welcome to the Guru.
Welcome, everybody.
So we want to welcome everybody in tonight to the Hey Techies Show. And you've been listening. You know how this goes. We talk about stories unless you call in and break us off of that. Or you can send us your questions at heytechiesshow.com. You also can view our live hangout at heytechiesshow.com, which we are on, and as well as listen to us on 91.9 and as well as the TuneIn app. You can search for us there, WLJS.
So many places.
And if you want to call in, don't forget that number is 256-782-5600. And now if you are interested in phones or computers or technology or
clapping your hands
while you're trying to talk,
I can clap my hands too.
You want to learn about, we'll talk audio, video, man. We'll talk TVs, whatever you want to talk. This is the show for that. And if you have a problem, hey, I just can't figure that out. Well, Bruce will try to figure it out.
Oh, yeah, leave it all on me.
Well, if it's network, we'll get Guru to figure it out. No, we'll get Bruce to figure it out.
Sure.
No, we'll all try to tackle it. And so we're going to have a fabulous show. And we got a lot to cover and a lot of interesting stuff. And we will not get it all in, but that's okay. That's what we say every week. And that's a good thing. But hey, how about our new intro? Man,
love it.
It sounds great.
So
We're so
much better
excited
than the original.
Well, I know, but we did. Hey, I don't know. That's just great. Well, somebody we know, Whit, and man, he did a fabulous job. And we're not done. He's got some more stuff he's doing for us, and we've got some great things coming up.
We appreciate
real
it.
Soon. We've got some guests next week, which just us this week, but we've got some cool guests next week. So you need to stay tuned. We're going to learn more about that as the show unfolds.
Awesome.
So, Bruce, how are you this week?
Fantastic. Coming back from the Higher Education Security Roundtable.
I bet that was
last week. Well, can't tell you what goes on. It's like Vegas.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's like Vegas. What happens there stays there.
Right. The reason he can't tell us because they were asleep.
Yeah.
No, man. It was.
Hey, I heard that they park a coffee truck there.
Well, I will say this. I'm sure this can be told that USA hosted it at University of South Alabama, and whenever we got there, they have Airmark. It's like our Sodexo.
Oh yeah.
They came to set up, and they kind of had started setting some stuff out, and then they said the guy got back in the car and left, and he was like, because the presentation stuff started a little, a couple hours later, but we were still having coffee and stuff. And they were just like, so everybody shows up, and he's trying to get them to come back to at least bring coffee. So it took them a while to get the coffee in, but they finally got it. But so it was a lot of fun, very interesting. But like I get said, what happens?
Yeah, so glad to have Bruce back. Me and Guru survived our show last week.
What show? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. And we kept watching the phone.
I got a question for you, Michael, before we go to break.
Oh, okay.
I have to ask you this, and I can't ask Bruce this because he doesn't do social media. Have you posted on your Facebook wall that you don't want
No.
Facebook sharing your information?
No, that's
No.
Did you put that post up there? You better do it.
No. Well, let me tell you something.
You better.
Let me tell you something. Oh boy.
It
I
makes no
don't-
difference.
I really don't know what to really say about
I don't know why
this.
people use Facebook either.
Well, that, you know,
Oh,
I get that point. I really do. I get that point. But I will say this, Guru. There are some pretty funny people that came up with some pretty good stuff to combat that, to sort of say, yeah, this is a little silly. But basically what people are believing that Facebook is going to start charging $5.99
yeah.
to allow you to have all your stuff for sure private. But if
What?
yes, I know. But if you post this little long dissertation,
Yeah.
you can get it free. You won't have to pay the $5.99.
That is so stupid.
So somebody did a great job.
Yeah.
This one in particular, we're not going to go on this long, but it is a little ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. But this one is really funny. It says, warning, as of today, Facebook will automatically start dragging the Earth into the sun. To change this option, go to settings, planetary settings, trajectory, then unclick the box that says apocalypse. Facebook keeps this one quiet. Copy and paste onto your status for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Now, somebody asked me, because I shared that because I thought it was just too good, you know. I mean, but a friend of mine asked me, she said, I know it's a joke, but could this be a subtle way of calling Facebook users gullible or ignorant? And I said, well, I see what you're saying. And I guess it could be, but I hope they don't act. I hope it's not how the person takes it. I hope they take it that, hey, maybe I need to think about this before I put stuff up here. Maybe everything on the internet is the internet is not true.
Well, it kind of reminds me of when your favorite, news organization, NPR,
oh yes,
posted a headline saying that research shows that Americans don't read anymore. And I want to say they did it through Facebook, and people nobody clicked on the link. And they're like, yes, I do. I read, blah, blah, blah. And it was kind of just a whole joke. Like, read the article and not just the headline.
Yes.
So I think that's funny.
Another friend of mine, I won't have this.
Wow, you have that many?
I do have a lot. Another friend of mine put that if you will give them $5.99, they will make sure that your stuff stays private. That was basically what it was. It was good.
Yeah.
So anyway, but people had some fun with it.
Click PayPal.
But you know what is funny? Someone we know, and they'll go nameless, but they were surprised with someone they respected posted it. I'll tell you.
You'll have
I'll tell you off air.
I haven't heard.
Yeah, but they were real shocked that someone that they had a lot of respect for posted this thing.
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, well, you
say it.
I can't do that. I'm sorry. We don't do names here.
Somebody call in, tell ask Mikey the question.
Hey, if you know about this whole Facebook thing and you have an opinion, call us. If you've seen it or if you have questions about it. The bottom line is most of the things like this you see, because it's just not true. They even had it so much, Bruce, that they said it was covered on NBC 13 News, which was found out to not be true. So somebody believed, somebody wrote and then believed it was covered on TV.
It's on them Facebooks. It's got to be true.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just
awesome.
crazy. Why?
It's me not having Facebook.
I know, but it
none the wiser to this happening.
No.
I knew this would spark a lot of conversation. Me and Bruce this morning I told Bruce about this before work. I said, I'm going to make sure to tell Michael this. And
this is kind of some of the reason why I left. Like, I mean, I'll admit I had Facebook
I totally
early
understand.
on,
Yeah.
It's like, this is pointless.
Yeah. I totally understand that.
And also, I'm going to go ahead and give you a warning just in case I go into like a coughing fit.
Yeah, I know. He's been under the weather
for, it seems like forever. I'm always under the weather. But
well, I've had a little bit of it too. So
and I'm sure some of y'all out there are getting it too. This weather change.
Yeah, it's just it's cooler.
Yeah. At least I can talk. I want to say like a day or so ago. You're kind of worried.
Yeah, I was
actually.
actually.
So-
It was funny. I told you earlier today. I said, "Don't talk much. We
Yeah.
need you to talk
Well,
tonight."
I drank a Monster before. The
Yeah,
show.
that was it.
It's the cure all. That and
That's the
Alka-Seltzer.
cure-all. Yeah,
That was
is
not
the
a paid
cure-all.
advertisement, by the way.
No.
If they want to give
we
me,
actually don't have any of those.
if they would love to give me a lifetime supply of, and it's got to be the Alka-Seltzer cold, because like the plain I don't like. It's got to be like the cold and flu.
Yes.
That's my cure all for everything.
Yes.
So
Hey,
drives my wife
this is
crazy.
just probably not the right time for this, but it's one of the extra stuff, and I just think it's interesting. The James Bond film, there's one coming out.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
called
excited.
Spectre.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a guess at how many Aston Martins they destroyed.
Oh wow.
No, I'm sorry. Amount of how much money?
How much money?
Right, money in
Oh.
Aston Martins.
Whew.
Just guess. You're not going to get it. I mean, if you get it, that'll be impressive.
$17.5 million.
Well, in U.S. currency, $37 million
Times
worth
I was
times two. You're close. You're close times two. Worth of Aston Martins.
Man. So that's like
It was around
28,
24 pounds. 20 something pounds in
Is it pounds or is it euros?
No, I think it's still pounds, isn't it, in England?
Yeah, England
Do you
still
have the-
pounds, I believe.
I think that's what the story said. 20.
Mm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, England still is. I can't believe this is the Hey Techies Show. We're not the Financial Times.
What's the current exchange rate?
Well, yeah, right. What is the current exchange rate? Somebody will call in and well, I thought this was a techie show.
Okay,
Y'all
Google.
are, okay, yeah, okay, Google. Yeah.
Siri, come on. Didn't get that in last week, so I had to get it in this week.
Be right back.
Looking to cure that sweet tooth of yours? Mad Hatter Cupcake Shop is now proudly serving the Jacksonville area at their new location at 16 Public Square on the Square. Mad Hatter is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 9 p.m. and they're closed on Sunday and Monday. For additional information, be sure to check out their Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Mad Hat Cupcakes, and their website, www.madhatcakes.com.
Jacksonville Bookstore offers supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to Scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. They are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait times. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Gamecock Auto Spa, a part of the Extreme Auto Spa family of car washes located at 1011 Pelham Road South in Jacksonville, is ready to clean your car and get it back to looking like new. Gamecock Auto Spa offers different washes with a foam bath, tire cleaner, clear coat sealer, wheel cleaner, and much more at affordable prices. JSU students, military, and senior citizens receive a special deal with a valid ID. For more information, the number is 256-403-0905. Gamecock Auto Spa, a proud patron of WLJS.
Celebrating 40 years of great college radio from Jacksonville State University. Hey folks, this is Bill Bussey, better known as Bubba from the Rick and Bubba Show, and I was on the air here from 1980 on and off till about 1989. Don't do the math on that. You're listening to WLJS Jacksonville, Alabama.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. So glad to have you in with us tonight. Well, Bruce, you have some.
Yeah, right before the show, I opened up my computer and was pulling up some stuff. And when I opened a new tab, ad block opened a new tab and has announcing the acceptable ads program. So it goes on, I don't want to read the whole thing, but basically they're now participating in the acceptable ads program. This way, they have strict guidelines of what an acceptable ad is. And basically, I see it as who's paying us to allow ads through. So you may, if you haven't seen that yet, you probably will. I'm sure the internet will be all a buzz about it.
Sure,
probably starting tonight because I think this just happened.
Just happened
right before the show. So I mean, they know we come on Thursday nights.
Yeah, that's why they did it.
So,
exactly.
So they were like, man,
just for you to get it, Bruce.
Yep, right before the show. But one quick shout out. I meant to say this before the show. I wanted to give a quick plug.
Sure.
For Pepper's Krav Maga. They're there right now. But they are having
Bruce isn't,
and I'm not. But they're having a Muay Thai seminar October 17th.
It's good to know that you'll put that down for this show. That's impressive.
Put what down?
Put that down. The Krav.
Oh yeah,
I'm amazed.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised that you would put that down for this show. I mean, that's
Everybody needs to know that. That's one of those.
I agree. The sacrifice you make.
Sacrifice.
I agree. Yeah. Poor Yessie.
But anyways, if you're interested, they have a Facebook page for more information.
Okay.
So.
Well, good.
You should come. I'll even pay your way to go.
Nah, that's okay. I got injuries I don't want to expose.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Only one way to make it stronger.
Yeah, that's right. Through the pain. Work through the pain. Guru's going to leave us here if we keep going.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll put the board in autopilot. Let her hurry up.
Well, back to tech.
Back to tech.
Yes. So today is the day.
Oh, yeah.
When merchants need to have these chip readers in, right? They have to have a reader that will read the chip. Is it
like a potato chip?
Yeah, like a potato chip. Now, is it all merchant? Is it like ATMs and banks, or where does it cut it off at?
So the reason why they have it is really for a liability shift.
Correct. Right.
So I guess that's the biggest thing. You had kind of teased it with the signature versus, what'd you say?
Signature versus pen. That's
signature versus pen. So this was something that was, I think, back in 2012, a long time ago, that MasterCard and Visa agreed that by October 1st, 2015, I don't know why they chose that date, every retailer in the U.S. would have to have new terminals that would accept the chip and pin cards. So those have been used in Europe for, seems like, forever. Of course, theirs is still more secure than ours because we're allowing the chip and signature instead of a chip and pin.
Correct.
So even if I still have your card, I could go somewhere and use it and then sign.
Yes.
And then the liability is still on the bank.
Right.
Because as long as that retailer has where they accept that smart key. Now, if they don't, and I go in there, swipe your card, not stick it in. If I swipe your card, then the retailer is liable for the fraudulent charges. So really, it's kind of like the banks were like, we're tired of paying out all this. And I mean, it does put a good shift of liability on the retailers because there's a bunch that they don't check.
Yeah.
I actually know a bunch of people that whenever they go to restaurants, they don't sign the back of their card. They put ask for ID. And if there's any waiters and waitresses listening, if this person in particular, if they come back and say, hey, I need to see your ID, they leave a more generous tip for them. And sometimes they don't leave a tip at all if they don't ask because they're just like, it's one of those, you're not protecting me, so why should I help?
Well, I never complain at anyone who asks for my ID. For that situation, but I see people, they just ticks them off, and I'm like, man or woman, they're trying to protect you.
Yeah, exactly.
In case you're not you.
Yeah.
The person is not you.
Yeah. And I didn't realize this until I guess it was about last week because, to me, the whole point of a bank is to keep my money safe.
Right.
Now, as for a personal checking account, if money gets stolen out, the bank's
Right.
liable for that.
Yeah.
But if you're a business
Yeah.
and somebody hacks into your account, it's on the business.
Yeah.
Which to me is just insane. Like, that's the whole point of a bank. Like, if we go back to the simple, okay, I know you're like, no. Well, the bank sees it as they're there to make money.
No, no.
But
Yeah.
the whole reason of a bank in its infancy was that they have a vault. I can go keep my
that is a good point.
valuables safe.
Sure.
So now that safe is turned into an electronic safe, and you're responsible for my money, not me.
I get it. I know what you're saying.
Now I understand there's some, there has to be some liability on the end user. Like, well, if you don't report a fraudulent charge after 30 days, then you're agreeing that it's not fraudulent.
Right. Now, what about though? You may have to correct me on this because I did read over this, but it's quickly. What about the PIN, like the card readers in ATM? They have chips in them. Are they supposed to be able to read the chip cards now? Do you know if?
See, I didn't know it. To me, like the whole, I guess it's a law, was that it was retailers, and I guess if you're an independent ATM, and that would classify you as a retailer because you're charging a fee.
My wife will have to remind me again because she used to work at one.
But one thing Guru didn't know about this, because he was saying, and this is really a prime time for tap to pay. As far as with your phone, this is.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up
because as Americans, we want the quickest. Because people are going to see it as inconvenient. It takes a little more time, but it does still generate that one-time token whenever you put that. It's basically let's call it a smart card, a cat card, whatever. And whenever you insert it in, but the breakdown is that we're only requiring, as in the U.S. is only requiring a signature instead of a PIN.
Right.
And we already use pins for debit cards. I don't know if it was they just thought, well, they shouldn't have to remember another PIN, or that's inconvenient. Signature would be quicker. But to me, I would just say,
how can a signature be quicker?
I don't know. Because a lot of people
here's my take on this: is faster versus more secure. I'd rather wait longer, but is it longer? I
don't know,
because we were talking about this before the show. There's a one-time token with the chip cards, but what's very powerful about the chip and PIN in Europe is that PIN number it encrypts the data on the card. So without the PIN, the card is useless.
Yeah,
yes, that's correct.
So if you were to forget your PIN number, it ain't like the bank can go in and change it. Basically, the card they have to change the card because it's encoded in the chip. The data is encrypted,
but
on the card based on that PIN number.
To me, it wouldn't take you that long to decrypt it. If you had physical access to the card,
but
then you're working against time for somebody to know.
Well, there's no question that it'll get figured. It'll get hacked eventually. They'll be able to encrypt.
But I guess another argument for or against this, really more against it, is as far as inconvenience and this I was going to talk about this on the show, and then it just happened before the show. Actually, now that I think about it. Say you're at the grocery store and you're going through a line, you pay for all your stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, I kind of wanted a drink. I've already paid, but now I've got to go through this whole process again. Are you going to be more likely, you're going to be less likely now to purchase that extra thing because
cash?
Well, because of how long it's going to. Who carries cash?
I carry some for the things you're talking about.
Well, I never carry cash.
I know. Speaking of that, Regions now does Android Pay.
Nice.
Android
Pay.
But what I was saying, that actually happened right before the show when I was picking up my Monster. They had those down at the cockpit. They had those cornflake. I don't know what they are. They had peanut butter and there's just those treats. And I was like, man, already paid. Yeah, I kind of want one. Why not? I earned it.
You earned it.
It was only 120 calories.
But now this thing is supposed to help fight against those skimmers. If people bring skimmers, that's the big. That's one of the big things. Because I think a friend of mine actually got skimmed. Scam.
So,
but I think you mentioned this, Bruce. But this is a big time for the contactless NFC style payments.
Yeah, this is a perfect time to make it mainstream.
Yeah,
because all the stuff that the retailers are buying to be able to read these, usually come with NFC built in. Those
Right.
readers.
Right. And a lot of places, there's more places coming online taking Apple Pay.
Yeah.
Or just not just Apple Pay, but usually they take Apple Pay, they take all NFC.
And while
so it'd be Andrew Pay. What would you?
For those that don't listen all the time, we're referring to Android Pay.
Yes, and they're making fun of me, which they should.
But I want to say this, and I did not put this in our doc that we're sharing here, but it made me think about there's a group of merchants that have trying to go against Apple Pay and the whole NFC called Currency, and Walmart is one of those retailers that's kind of. Have y'all heard about that?
No, I have not.
Yeah, this has been going on for months since Apple Pay was announced. They're trying to do this thing it's called Currency, but it's basically like using an app on your smartphone with QR codes, and you scan the QR code at the register. I don't know the whole thing, but it's from what I've heard of, it's very clunky. It's been delayed several times. I've got an article that was just posted last month that's going to won't launch till next year.
Yeah.
But here's my take. I know we're not the rumor segment right now, but here's my rumor. I'm starting right now tonight.
Oh, he's pulling a Bruce.
Yes, I think that's going to fall. The day you see
the
day you see Walmart start taking NFC, you know it's failed.
Yep,
you heard it here first, folks.
So,
no, what? You think it's failed if Walmart does it?
Well, Walmart's the ringleader of this because they don't
saying Currency has failed.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I get it.
We'll have a link.
Currency.
There's an article. We'll put a link to it.
I still have Currency in my wallet. But
it's called Currency.
Oh.
They're trying to play off the.
Somebody's trying to call Bruce.
I don't know who it is, but somebody always just seems.
Yeah, it's some of these retailers don't want to get. They don't want to get Apple.
You got your stuff tied to too much.
So it's people like Andrew Pay. Anyway,
well, since we're on Android Pay,
yes.
You know, it updated maybe a week or so ago to where it's now 2 separate apps. You got Android Pay and Google Wallet. And I felt like such an idiot because I was at a grocery store and I was like, what happened to my loyalty card? Because I don't carry that stuff around. I just let them scan it.
Yeah.
And it's in Android Pay now. That's where its home is all
you were using
all your loyalty cards. And I was used to pulling up Wallet.
Okay.
And I was like, where is this?
There you go. If that happens to you and you don't know what's going on, there you go.
It is in Android.
And here's what's funny with iOS 9, they renamed Passbook to Wallet.
Yes, we did know that.
What?
Yeah, that was in the last iOS 9. That was at the developers conference.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Passbook is now called Wallet on iOS, which stores your Apple Pay information plus all your loyalty cards. Like when I go to these places, I have them on my phone too because I don't want to carry a keychain full of little plastic barcodes.
Yeah, man. So I'm so untechy when it comes to that.
Well, you got your little frequent shopper card like around your car keys.
No, I don't have that.
And see that to me, that blows my mind because it's like Google had it right first, calling it Wallet.
Yeah,
and then they're like, "Well, Apple's calling it Apple Pay. I guess we need to call it Android Pay." And then
I think they just pulled a switcheroo.
Yeah,
on
Apple
them.
did a switcheroo.
It's still called Apple Pay, but the app on iOS instead of being called Passbook, it's called Wallet.
Wallet. Yeah.
And whenever I've flown, the Delta app supports this. When you go and print your boarding pass, you can do it on your smartphone, and you can add it to your Passbook now called Wallet. And so it's kind of a catch-all for what you stick in your wallet.
And I guess Wallet now is if you have a Google Wallet card, or I mean,
that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Speaking of Apple, and really we're covering some we're sort of covering some old news now, and I hate to do that, but because we're only on once a week, this gets tough. Because I want to cover this just a little bit, and I think Guru found this. It's actually from the first day of the iPhone upgrade program launch. It was causing a bunch of headaches, and where the deal was is people were trying to get approved to get it for the upgrade program, but they were being denied for all kind of reasons. And one particular user, he was told to call the helpline with the program, and then Then when he got on the helpline, he said, no, they said, no, you need to talk to the person at the store.
Oh,
It was like, go ask mom. Dad says, go ask dad. Mom says, go ask mom.
What did dad say?
Yeah, what did dad say?
Come to ask you. Well,
But-
what did
but
they say?
And according to this article that we'll post, this person had an Apple Barclay card
Yeah.
with $4,000 limit. Available balance.
Okay.
So they were denied to be signed up for the Apple, and nobody at the Apple could figure out why. Nobody at the store could figure out why. Nobody at the two different card companies that were involved could figure out why.
Huh.
And apparently others had a similar experience. I don't know how widespread it was. You know how the news, they write an article and blow stuff out. I'm not sure exactly how widespread it was, but apparently there was some issues.
Well, I was actually telling my students about this today. About the whole, what are they calling it?
The upgrade program?
Upgrade program. They're not branding it something?
Apple... the iPhone upgrade program?
iPhone upgrade program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that's branding.
I was telling them about it because at first I had already started talking bad about these carriers.
Shocking.
And then I was like, wait, does anybody work?
Yeah. You got to saw some mean looks and maybe some pencils started to fly.
But I kind of explained it to him, and I was like, it makes so much more sense to go through them, because after you pay, the $100 or $200 down for the phone, plus the 25 months from the carrier, plus your $8 to $10 insurance, you could pay. You don't have an upfront cost, and you just pay the monthly fee that includes insurance.
Okay.
And you get it every. I mean, I think this is going to be a game changer. Apple doing this. I'd love to see Google do this.
We talked about last week's show. There's a T-Mobile and Sprint.
Yes.
I guess it was T-Mobile and Sprint. Yeah. They've tried to one up Apple and lower the price, like $5 a month, $1 a month.
But did you see? I think it's Sprint. They have figured out that I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah,
they're going to have to up their unlimited data plan $10 more. I knew it was going to happen.
What?
Yeah, they've got to hike the cost of it. I've told you. Nobody. Y'all don't believe me, but
I believe
it's costing more than people think. I know you disagree. I know you're smiling, and it's going to be like, yeah, they're just trying to make some more money. Fine, they are. But the point is that they are having to up that $10. I cannot believe that they would do that on purpose after they've claimed to be so competitive and have been trying to be very competitive in this very tight market. It seems odd to me they would just come out all of a sudden, oh, we're going to up at $10. We got to. The unlimited plan. I just don't think it's what you're thinking. But
I mean, the only reason why they would have to is if one, they're oversubscribed, and two, they need to do upgrades. That three,
I'm sure they are oversubscribed. I mean, if I forget what it was, but it was a low price.
Yeah.
I still think I said it at the time. I don't know if we can find it. Well, we can't find it right now, but I said at the time, I didn't think it was a high enough price.
Well,
to do unlimited.
I'm kind of curious about I'm just kind of curious about the whole internet is a utility thing.
I'm going to tell you something. Go ahead. I'm going to finish it.
It's not like water.
I'm going to tell you what the problem is. No, I'll tell you what the problem is. You're going to disagree with me.
Okay.
No, I think you are.
I disagree.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so you got a lot of young people.
Yeah.
Like you're similar to yourself. I mean, and even younger.
Thank you.
Okay. So they go to school. What do they have? Free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
They don't pay. They don't think that they're paying for it. I don't want to talk about what the reality.
Sure.
I'm just, they come to the university, free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
They go to mom and dad's house, free Wi-Fi. Unlimited.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they expect from their phone. Because
it should be that way.
Yeah, but it just doesn't work that way at that point. Because
why not? It used to.
No. Well, for a while. No. We get on. No, that's not. I'm not saying that some of them didn't. But my point is that we expect free, and eventually somebody has to pay the piper. You have seen the data here. How much data is used up?
Sure.
But
when you're an ISP, you're the one that controls the data.
Yeah, from a standpoint, but 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 that still doesn't mean it. You got to pay.
What I'm saying is, you've already had Comcast come out and say their vice president that's an engineer saying,
I know.
We have
hashed this out.
That's just something that the business people came up with.
I understand it's a marketing campaign from one standpoint that they're going to make it a profit, but I still think
JSU, we don't say you only get 100 gigs a month. We say you can download as much as you want or use the internet as much as you want. But once we hit our physical limit, we throttle it back. You're still getting good speeds.
I agree with that. What I'm saying is that I think we have a skewed understanding of cost versus what you get back.
Yeah.
Because so much of it is free. So much of it is appeared to be free from the start. Little Johnny gets born till little Johnny finally makes his first paycheck and gets to see the taxes taken out. I'm telling you.
Well, this is my thing. I've grown up through you can pay for minutes on AOL.
Yeah.
To where they just went, they were giving you the same amount of minutes, so it was basically unlimited. And they were like, all right, whatever, it's unlimited. And then you had broadband come along. They never had data caps.
Now, here's what I will
like, we should start having data caps.
What I will agree
more money.
What I will agree with you on is I do not like using the term unlimited if you're not going to be unlimited.
I agree with that.
Now I
agree with that.
I don't like the word using something free if you really have to buy something first in order to get it.
I agree with that.
I mean, that's rant. My wife, she says, don't say anything because I'll say something about it. And so I'm always wanting to go, well, can I have it? Unless, can I have that free Coke if I don't get the hamburger? It says free.
Yeah, it says free.
No? Well, then it's included in the price.
Yep.
Well, anyway, that's my little silly rant. Well, rant number 2.
I'll say this since you were talking about that. It's like I like it when it's the opposite way. Like Chick-fil-A used to, in the mall, they always used to give out, free chicken sandwiches.
Yes.
It didn't say anything about there. Now, for a while, I know some coupons you can get in the paper had like with a purchase of a drink and a Coke. I mean, a drink and a Coke. A drink and
a fry.
A drink and a fry.
Fry and a drink.
But whenever they would hand out the coupon that was like free sandwich, I'm like, you know what? They were altruistic, so I'll be that way too. Give me a drink and a fry. That way I felt like I met them halfway. But I wasn't forced to. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that are just like,
what you pointing the finger at me for?
Give me my chicken sandwich. I want my chicken sandwich.
You just made us something hum. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. So I'm just saying, you can catch more.
We're never going to cover
flies with sugar.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that statement.
Send your complaint emails to Bruce at heytechieshow.com or Michael at heytechieshow.com. Notice the guru is not saying
no. He's not. He's being solid.
I can't get a word in edgewise between these two.
We're all doing it on purpose too because we don't like the guru.
Yeah.
I mean that's the for sure reason.
Yeah. I'll just have to mute y'all.
Yeah.
It's like, well, time to go break. Mute.
he mutes us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, don't go anywhere.
Give us a call, 256-782-5600.
We'll be right back.
Hey Techies Show.
Looking to cure that sweet tooth of yours? Mad Hatter Cupcake Shop is now proudly serving the Jacksonville area at their new location at 16 Public Square on the Square. Mad Hatter is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 9 p.m. and they are closed on Sunday and Monday. For additional information, be sure to check out their Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Mad Hat Cupcakes, and their website, www.madhatcakes.com.
Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait times. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Gamecock Auto Spa, part of the Extreme Auto Spa family of car washes located at 1011 Pelham Road South in Jacksonville, is ready to clean your car and get it back to looking like new. Gamecock Auto Spa offers different washes with a foam bath, tire cleaner, clear coat sealer, wheel cleaner, and much more at affordable prices. JSU students, military, and senior citizens receive a special deal with a valid ID. For more information, the number is 256-403-0905. Gamecock Auto Spa, a proud patron of WLJS.
Jacksonville Bookstore offers supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to Scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. We are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. You can't hear, or you don't remember that one?
What? I couldn't hear. I was fixing my. Oh yes. Of
course, you knew that.
I knew that one. I need to give you some updated music, man.
Well, I guess we've
been listening to a lot of '90s this week.
Yeah, the '90s. Hey, that's a good era.
Yeah, that was
the '80s and the '90s.
Yeah.
Good musical.
Good
era.
music.
Yes.
All we got now is Taylor.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
real quick, real quick.
It
will be
real quick.
Well, this past week, I think it was the last week because you were out. Did you know there is his name is not Brian Adams. His name is Ryan Adams. Yeah. Apparently gets pretty irritated when people ask for Brian Adams songs. Apparently, that's what I've heard. Did you know that he did the entire 1989 album? He released the whole album in his way of singing it, all the tracks. Yes, he's friends with Taylor Swift.
Well, I would think so, to be able to have the permission to release that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess so. But he did the and I've listened to.
Is it any good?
Well, it's different. It's very.
Does he change any of the lyrics?
Well,
or is he talking about a guy?
No. That's a good point. I hadn't listened to all of it, but for instance, like the "Shake It Off," it's almost like a ballad.
Okay,
it's very different.
I'll have to
anyway, it was on NPR last week.
Is it for free? Legitimately?
It's not for free. Is that what you're talking about?
I want to listen to it. See if it's any good.
Well, if you're still signed up for Apple Music, and I know you're not, but I'm saying if folks forgot to drop.
I forgot to sign up for it.
No. If you forgot to drop on the 29th, then you got charged on the 30th for your first month. Yep.
Really?
Yes. I think you might can find it there. I'm not sure. I'm not promoting or not. I'm not yay or nay on it. But anyway, you brought her up.
Nay
on
the Apple.
Oh,
yay
no.
for.
Oh no, I was talking about yay or nay on the album. I don't have any idea.
Got to change out my batteries.
Oh my goodness, this thing.
Well, I accidentally left them on.
So you have headsets with batteries.
Yeah. So I don't have to listen to all the ambiance.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Keep it talking.
Yeah. Okay. So, Guru, I'm sorry. There's some things you might want to turn off on the new iOS 9, and this has been covered a lot, I know, but I thought we'd cover it for our listeners a little bit, particularly Wi-Fi Assist.
Rant number 3, about to start.
No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, because I saw this and I was like, really? Apple, really?
What's this?
Wi-Fi Assist is basically similar, very similar to what Microsoft did with the share your data, share your bandwidth.
Well, for Bruce and those who have not heard about Wi-Fi Assist, basically this is a new feature of iOS 9.
Yep.
Where if you have it enabled, which is enabled by default, so if you've not changed it, it is on if you have iOS 9. And what it does is Apple, if it determines your Wi-Fi you're connected to is slow,
right?
I'm using air quotes here. if it's slow, it'll start using your cellular data to compensate for the slowness of the Wi-Fi. Which for those
kind of see how that's so.
I'm sorry, we're not like everybody like Bruce has unlimited data.
I mean,
so,
I can see they're wanting you to have the best experience.
Yes, and it will give you a better experience if you're on LTE. But
which now some people on Apple LTE can't do something.
That's another story.
Okay.
But anyway, you're using up your data, and most people, at least in the U.S., have a certain amount of bandwidth they're allowed a month without having to pay additional.
Because somebody thinks that it can't be unlimited.
Yeah, we've already beat that dead
Somebody's
horse.
got to pay the piper.
They do, but I didn't say it wasn't unlimited. It's unlimited for a price anyway.
And here's the thing. I think it's a good feature, like Bruce was saying. It helps with the user experience, but don't have it on by default. Apple, really? It's just like the Microsoft thing was sharing the Windows updates across the internet. Really?
Well, I think that should be one of those things that when you're setting up,
that's what I was going to say.
Hey, because I mean, it's like this is going to use your data.
And in the past, with certain features and certain when you first boot up after an upgrade, it would ask you certain questions. But it did not. There was nothing asked of us when we upgraded from iOS 8 to iOS 9. So, I mean, and this, of course, was on. And
okay.
Sorry, that phone was distracting.
Yeah,
I apologize.
They calling the regular phone.
But anyway,
should I pick it up and see what they want?
Sure.
They're gone now.
Dang it. Anyway, this being owned by default, and the only way I knew about it was I found an article online about it. I was like, really, Apple? And I went and looked because I'd upgraded to iOS 9.
256-782-5600 if you're trying to guess.
So I checked my phone. I was like, it is on. Well,
yeah, you checked your phone and it was on.
Yeah, and it was on, and I checked my data usage with my app from my carrier, Verizon, and my data was a little bit higher than previous months. I'm early into my month so far. So I made sure the other iOS 9 devices on our plan that was turned off. I texted my family that's on the plan with me and said, check your device if you've upgraded. I've been telling people at work. I mean, this is stupid. I mean, really, Apple, I understand what you're wanting to do and I understand the feature, but don't have the flipping thing on by default. Really? That's rant number 3, folks, for those keeping score.
Don't have it on by default. Yeah. I like that. I thought at one time it used to be where that
it was our good friend Daniel.
Oh,
he's going to be calling.
He couldn't
in.
remember.
Yeah, I think he got the wrong number. So Guru, watch the phones. Daniel's going to be calling.
All right,
he's excited. I guess he's probably going to say, "I hate Apple too."
I think the other phone's the request line, which is different than the one we can bring up. On
it is. So questions 782-5600.
Well, that phone was working today because I double checked it. The phone line. So
they're using on 3 guys talking sports last hour. So anyway, but that's my whole rant on that. I think it's a good feature. It can help in certain scenarios, but do not have it on by default, Apple.
Or
please,
at least prompt.
Yeah.
But I know one of the things I got to do with Android anytime I get a new phone is I got to go in and say, always use cellular if it's available. Like, don't like on updates and stuff like that. Go ahead and update it. Go ahead and upload stuff to the cloud. Like, go ahead and do all that because it doesn't matter to me. Because I have unlimited.
You're like 1% of the U.S. population.
That's right. I'm the 1%. How's it feel, commoners?
I don't know.
Bask in my
but bask
in my unlimited glory.
I think we about covered that one pretty well, and that didn't take forever. I just ran it for like 10 minutes. It seemed like.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just check your settings.
Yes, please check your settings right now.
And a couple of people, they got a pretty large bill. I mean,
I just think some of that's not true, but it may be.
Well, yeah, some of those I agree with you. I guess what I meant to say is some people started checking their data and they were way up on data. Yeah, that's what I meant.
And mine was up too. So, I've got to try to conserve a little bit to try to come in line at the end of the month. So,
yeah.
Well, I know one of our people we work with, they occasionally, because they don't have coverage at home, they tether their stuff, and they had tethered a lab. Well, there was their Surface, and it needed updates because he never updates it. And he said instantly a gig.
Wow.
And I mean, he's only got like 4, and it's like that's why it's ridiculous, because people like our good friend out in Timbuktu that don't have a broadband carrier out there, that rely on their cell phone coverage, can't even do their updates to keep them secure because the companies are greedy.
Okay.
Or as I've said in the past, they're not being good Christians, and they're trying to take all the money.
Seriously, come on.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not even going to comment on that. Sorry.
Corporate greed.
Well, here we go. Here we go.
These...
This is just for you. Speaking of what you just talked about, we don't have too long. We'll have to cut the break.
Yep.
Zuckerberg pushes for universal internet access by 2020. I guess.
Will it be unlimited?
He's teaming up with Bono's One organization to push for universal internet access by 2020.
I mean, I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mind the world. Mind the data of the world. Everybody can get on Facebook.
Today, over half the people on this planet don't. Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah,
half the people on this planet don't have access. Zuckerberg wrote in a joint New York Times op-ed with Bono.
Yeah.
Go play the look.
Hey, I'm fine with people dreaming big. I'm the future needs to be now. Why not?
The future's now. That's funny. That was a little tagline in an old I think a Matlock show where they were investigating one of these groups that you call them what do you call them, where not like a convent but like a oh shoot, I've lost the train of thought now. It doesn't matter.
Like a cult.
Yeah, like a cult. And that was their slogan, the future is now.
The future is now.
That's a cult. Thank you. I couldn't remember it. Not Culture Club, but a cult.
The occult.
No, not the occult. That's totally different. People, boy, they get that confused. That's totally different. Anyway, not to tie that in with Zuckerberg, but that's out there too.
So speaking of, since we're on kind of Facebook things, did you hear about the People app? It's gonna let you leave Yelp like 1-star reviews for bad friends.
I heard about it.
So there's some people in uproar about it. I mean, they say that they're gonna have no tolerance for profanity, bullying, health references, disability references, so on and so forth. That they're not gonna allow that stuff. But basically, if say, and there's no opt out, because if you're anybody, then you're somebody, so somebody can rate you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I work with Michael on a day-to-day basis. He's a very hard worker, always on time, very diligent. I give him 5 stars. And then somebody else comes along and is like, I can't stand the guy. he's always in a hurry, never listens to me, 1 star. And apparently there's going to be like an amount of time, I think like 48 hours, that you can resolve the issue with the person. But I mean, to me, it kind of, and employers are going to use it.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So, they already use Facebook. So this is going to be just like a treasure trove for them to be able to be like, yeah, we don't like this guy. He got 1.5 stars. So, I mean, yes, it's a good thing. It makes people, I guess it would make you always be your best self, knowing that somebody could rate you negatively.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of curious. I guess your friends circle would get smaller.
I don't know
if people were honest. But then that's the thing too. It's like I don't know if I didn't see where it was like anonymous ratings. So I'm assuming like if I went
would
on
know the person supposedly, or they would have to have some.
I'm guessing that's the way it would work.
Okay.
Or at least it would have like, their initials or first name and an initial last name. And you'd be like, I know who that is. I'm going to beat him up. Take him to the cleaners. How dare he say that about me?
Oh, come on.
So, I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of like Yelp reviews for people. So instead of don't go to that restaurant, they don't know how to, you know, cook a steak. It would be, don't be around this person that had bad body odor.
So it's like the feedback you can give on Uber.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, but and that's the thing. It makes everybody a business like, and you know, I'm just kind of curious. I would kind of like to see what people have to say about me. Questions at Hey Techies Show.
You sure you want to know?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's not gonna hurt my feelings.
Oh, that's true. if there's anybody I've met in life that's true about, that is true.
So I'm just kind of curious. What do people think?
But as I get older, I'm trying to see the clock over there, but Guru's Batman chair blocks it.
Executive chair.
Yeah, there's executive Batman chair. I mean, it looks like it's in the Bat Cave or something.
The Bat Cave.
Yeah.
That I didn't.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman. So
I'm Batman.
So we do have a caller, but we're going to do this over there. So he's going to hold on, though. He's okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Great. Well, I do want to remind everybody they are listening to WLJS Jacksonville, Alabama, and this is the Hey Techies Show program. So glad to have you here with us, and we are coming up on our
numero
dos coming up. So
stay with us.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, okay? Y'all need to stay with us so that we can have you maybe call in to the Hey Techies Show. So we'll be right back. This week's guest on the Hey Techies Show is Scott Wilkinson, editor of avsforum.com and host of Home Theater Geeks. We will ask Scott about how he got his start in his profession and dive into the world of high-end audio and video. In our dose, Jerry Foster from Florence Academy of Fine Arts will chat with us about the state-of-the-art recording studio at Florence High School. That's the Hey Techies Show, Thursday night at 7, right here on WLJS.
From NPR News in Washington, I'm Janine Herbst. Police in Oregon say 10 people died, several others were injured when a gunman opened fire at a community college in Roseburg. Rita Caven is the interim president of Umpqua Community College. She says the entire community has been traumatized.
Today was the saddest day in the history of the college. The college just celebrated its 50th anniversary recently, and this is a tragedy.
Police say the 20-year-old gunman was killed in a shootout with police. And a visibly angry President Obama offered condolences tonight to the families victimized by what he called another mass shooting in America. NPR's Scott Horsley reports Obama lamented once again the deadly epidemic of gun violence in this country.
In what's become a sad routine, President Obama used the White House briefing room to memorialize the people shot to death in Roseburg, give thanks to the first responders, whose bravery, he said, probably saved some lives, and complain that America remains the only developed country where gun violence on a mass scale is so casually tolerated.
We collectively are answerable to those families who lose their loved ones because of our inaction.
Obama made a major push for gun safety legislation after the 2012 Sandy Hook shooting, but that effort stalled in the Senate. Without a change in politics, Obama warns more deadly shooting sprees are likely. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
Defense officials are confirming a United States C-130 plane crashed in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, killing 10 people, 5 military crew members and 5 civilian contractors. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Some presidential candidates are decrying Russian airstrikes in Syria NPR's Scott Detrow reports several are warning the country is trying to displace the U.S. as a Middle East power broker.
Speaking on MSNBC this morning, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush voiced concern that Russia's strikes are more about propping up the Assad regime than beating back ISIS.
This is outrageous. He's attacking the Syrian Free Army.
For months, Bush and other candidates have criticized the Obama administration for not pushing back on aggressive Russian actions in Syria and Ukraine. President Obama did impose new sanctions on the country after it effectively annexed part of Ukraine. For her part, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says it's not clear what Russia is up to with its airstrikes, but she agrees the country is doing whatever it can to keep the Assad regime in power. Scott Detrow, NPR News.
Hurricane Joaquin is moving through the central Bahamas. The Category 4 storm is packing winds of 130 miles an hour. It's expected to head up the eastern seaboard, but the National Hurricane Center in Miami says the majority of forecast models show it on a track farther away from the U.S. East Coast. Wall Street ended the day in mixed territory. The Dow was down 12. This is NPR.
Technologic.
Use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, melt, upgrade it, chart it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip and zip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show.
Hey Techies Show.
Hour number
Dose.
Well, we have a caller.
Start off hour number 2.
Yeah, to start off hour number two, we have a caller. Daniel is calling back, and hopefully Daniel is going to tell us a good ending to his story where he left it off last time. Daniel, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are all you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Great.
Well, actually, I have to follow up the story about my phone. I'm glad you guys actually remember this. Pretty cool. I ended up, it kept working, and I ended up doing the insurance company, and I paid them $99, and within the next day they sent me a new phone. So I guess it kind of turned out like you guys said. Probably turned out having to send it back in, but. I got that fixed. So
well, good.
Appreciate you guys for following up with me on that.
Oh, yeah. So what did you call about tonight?
Well, I don't know if you guys have installed the new Windows 10.
Yes. Oh, yes. Several times.
I missed a few shows, so I don't know if you guys already talked about this or not. But have you talked about any of the privacy concerns involving Windows 10?
Yeah, we have. We've had several shows actually discussing the privacy concerns. So what's your concerns about it?
Well, when I first, I have a good friend of mine who, he's, what's the word, savvy with technology.
Okay.
And, he was telling me, hey, you need to really be aware of this sort of ominous privacy problems that Windows 10 is really telling you that they are kind of having with the new OS. And I looked into it. I did a lot of research, and it's a little scary to know, that you get a faster OS that maybe uses less memory. It's faster than Windows 7. But you sort of sacrifice that for something that could potentially interfere in your emails, your personal files, without you even being aware. I think that's sort of getting one thing and giving up another. You understand?
Well, there's no. Well, I'll let you finish and just say there's no question that you're right about that. Now, what you may not know is this week Microsoft has come out and claimed that they're not doing that. Right. That's what they came out and claimed this week.
They stated that they take painstaking measures to obfuscate your identity to make it anonymous, and that it's encrypted and that no one can see it but them.
But now they went in, Bruce, they went in so far as to say is they were not scanning your email.
They said they weren't scanning your email, but they did not say anything about the Cortana
What is
searches. They did not say anything about Cortana searches. I don't think they said anything about Skype.
They said that they were gathering Cortana searches, weren't they? Because
yeah, but as far as the
to
anonymity of them,
right. Well, if I may add two quick points into
absolutely.
that. If you remember earlier when the Xbox One was coming out, Microsoft backed product. At first their privacy problems with webcam, and, everything was really infracting, encroaching upon people's privacy. And only after the E3 that came that year were they like, oh, we will not do this, and people were in uproar because you don't be playing games and worry about some big corporate entity being able to confiscate your messages or look at you when you don't want them to. And I actually did a little bit of research the other day, and if I may read a quote
sure,
that I found online, it's from some sort of Microsoft ex-employee or something, and the proof is in the pudding, some people say. The quote goes, and this is from someone talking about the improvements from Windows 10, from Windows 7. It says, finally, we will access, disclose, and preserve personal data, including your content, such as the content of your emails, other private communications, or files in private folders, when we have a good faith belief that doing so is necessary. So to me, when you use words like that, when you say you're going to protect my privacy only on a good basis, when it's maybe not in my best interest, or you have more of an interest to disclose that information, and I think that's very dangerous,
And I've said that in the past that this was one of those things that say that the government comes knocking on the door and say, hey, we want this data. Microsoft's got the keys to it, and they're easily going to give that up. And this was kind of the whole thing, as far as I had said this before in the past with the collection of data that the NSA was doing, and so many judges have found that non-constitutional and ordered it stopped. But now if a business holds that data, they can go and get that information, and then it doesn't fall under the Freedom of Information request.
Right. They don't have to have subpoena to get there.
Exactly. So, it's not like we can find out what was done with the data. So it's trust me, the Microsoft and a lot of these, Google's done this for a long time, as far as going through your email to be able to, that
targeted
ads.
Right.
It's so they can make money.
Phishing,
exactly.
search engines and everything.
Yeah. So I mean, it's to me, it's definitely a concern.
You should be concerned about it.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of people are aware of this, because my students that I've had that I've brought this kind of stuff up to, they're just, they're bewildered about it. They just can't believe that that's going on. And I mean, I definitely think it's because stuff is so free and it is easy to use and it's just there. They think, oh, this is great, but they don't realize again that they're the product. Exactly, it comes with a cost. So
yes. Well, if I may, just say one more thing. I think when you live in a country who has constitutional freedoms, you have the right. In America, you have right for privacy, and if you have something leisurely like internet and games and stuff like that, and maybe sometimes you don't put two and two together, that you want to fear a government that might infringe upon your privacy, but in the same sense you should have a responsible fear that a retail or a corporate entity can do the same thing, and you shouldn't think of it so lightly.
Totally agree. Man, preaching to the choir right here.
Preach it, brother. Preach it.
So
anyway, I guess that's all I have to say, and I'm sorry if I dragged on a little bit, but
hey, wait a minute now, Daniel, you're our favorite caller.
Yeah, man.
Come on. Oh yeah, we appreciate your call. Trust me, we appreciate your call. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate this, and keep doing what you're doing. and talking the good talk and fighting the good fight. Okay.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
you have a good evening, Daniel. So glad to hear from you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Man, I'm so glad somebody else is concerned about this as much as I am. And we've got people on the inside that have circulated emails saying, no, it's not really a big of a concern, but it's still one of those things like, well, they didn't point out these things, and those are really where the concerns are. And the thing is that they can say they go through painstaking process to anonymize that data and to protect it. Well, I'm sure the bank goes through painstaking processes to protect my accounts and my credit card information. And we'll get into the hack of the week.
The OPM.
Which, did y'all cover that while I was going about the
fingerprints?
Yeah,
Yes,
the fingerprints.
It just gets worse.
I told you it's going to keep, and I'm surprised we went so long without covering it.
Fingerprints.
Yeah, but of course I said
over 5 million.
But remember, I said wait till that 18 months later. We're gonna be covering it again after all the coverage is up. But where was I going with this?
I don't know.
The hack of the week. So I'm these banks that's their job again to protect my money. It gets stolen all the time.
Well, it's more than money; it's identity. Because when you
and that's the thing,
when you transact with the banks, you have to give them personally identifiable information.
Yes. And that's the thing with all this that they're collecting. It's like, ask me anything. I can query a database and I know everything about you.
Yeah.
Then you have no identity. That's the thing. Without that privacy, you have no identity.
Yep. That's rant number 4 for those keeping score.
Yeah, that's what we need is a rant score.
That's right. We need a little tote board up there.
We were actually, and we would like to hear, post on Facebook page or whatever we have that I don't monitor.
That you don't monitor.
But that the guru and Michael here painstakingly monitor. We were actually talking about having like a Hey Techies bingo game, and put out
Techies
cards.
bingo card.
So as you listen, you can do that, and maybe we can do some type of rant game. So and maybe prizes and stuff come with that through participation. I don't know. We'll see. So we'd like to hear your comments on that. Post it.
Okay.
So we don't forget, we got to get to the hack of the week later on.
Yeah.
And this is something that just happened because I had a different one, and and we had to get this because this other one's a whole lot bigger. But we'll go over both.
Well, thanks, Daniel, for the call.
If you would like to call us, 256-782-5600.
Be right back.
Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait times. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Jacksonville Bookstore offers supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to Scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. They are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Gamecock Auto Spa, part of the Extreme Auto Spa family of car washes located at 1011 Pelham Road South in Jacksonville, is ready to clean your car and get it back to looking like new. Gamecock Auto Spa offers different washes with a foam bath, tire cleaner, clear coat sealer, wheel cleaner, and much more at affordable prices. JSU students, military, and senior citizens receive a special deal with a valid ID. For more information, the number is 256-403-0905. Gamecock Auto Spa, a proud patron of WLJS.
Looking to cure that sweet tooth of yours? Mad Hatter Cupcake Shop is now proudly serving the Jacksonville area at their new location at 16 Public Square on the Square. Mad Hatter is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 9 p.m. and they are closed on Sunday and Monday. For additional information, be sure to check out their Facebook page, www.facebook.com/MadHatCupcakes, and their website, www.madhatcakes.com.
Hey, I'm Rick from the Rick and Bubba Show. Hey, celebrating 40 years of great college radio from Jacksonville State University is 92J. You know, I was here on the air from 1985 to 1989, and you're listening to WLJS in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. So glad to have you with us tonight, as always.
Was that one of my songs?
I don't think so. I don't think I picked anything out of that list this time.
Bruce is disappointed. If looks could kill,
yeah.
I'm not disappointed. I'm just curious.
So Bruce had that. You had that look.
I was like, did I put that one?
I picked some things I never
cleared off the jazz.
I actually had picked some things I never even heard of. I mean, I do put
I
it
think
in
that was Imagine Dragons, was it not?
I don't think so.
I mean,
I can't tell now.
I apologize to you. I just
should.
didn't. Golly.
Oh, anyways,
It was not Imagine Dragons.
40th anniversary, huh?
Yes.
Of the radio station.
This 40th anniversary, September 29th,
How about
75. It went on the air, and there was some special programming they played. It's pretty interesting.
It
You could
was.
hear Ernest Stone.
Yeah.
He talked. You could hear him talk about it on the first day. They still had that recording. That's pretty amazing.
It is
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, they had the foresight to record.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, we're so excited we're on the air. It's like, wait, should we record this?
I bet it was on a reel-to-reel.
Probably
Something like that.
something
Tape.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, it definitely wasn't digital.
No.
Yeah, they aired a anniversary special.
Correct.
And if you go to the Hey Techies Show Facebook page, which if you just go to our website, heytechiesshow.com, the link is there. If you scroll down from Monday, we put a link out there.
Nice.
So if you missed it, you can watch it. But yeah, happy 40th anniversary, WLJS.
Yes. Yes. Happy 40.
Long
I
live
wish
college
I had
radio.
one of those little birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hashtag long live college radio.
Yeah, I was 3 years old.
I was not even thought of.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you were thought of.
No.
Yes.
No, I wasn't.
Your parents were alive
Yeah.
in 75.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't.
My mom
I don't
would have been
agree.
11.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
So
back to tech.
can we talk about the phone?
Yes, I would.
Sweet.
Let's talk about the phone for a few minutes, even though we don't have this in the list. But
We don't have
we
this
need to.
list.
I meant
Yes,
to
this is a
throw it
big
in there,
thing.
but I got
Because
busy.
they also came out with the new Chromecast.
Yes.
Which I may go buy one. Can't help it.
All of this, folks, if you want to go to google.com and look for the store, you can find all of the things we're discussing, by the way.
Yep. So
They're all out there.
kind
But,
of want to see the new
Oh,
Chromecast.
well, it would be neat.
I'm
Now,
just gonna put the other
they
one
got
down at the
something
beach
interesting.
house.
Yeah, they've got something interesting. It's a Chromecast audio. It's just
Yeah.
for streaming audio.
Which-
and I'm not sure if that's,
It's not going to sell as well, I'm assuming.
I don't think so.
But to me, I was like, can't you just made it all in one type deal?
Yeah, I don't know. Surely they could have.
I don't know.
$35 extra
Yeah.
for that.
Well, it's a separate device.
I know that.
So
I got it.
I just feel like
Of course,
that could've been-
I'm not in the market for one of those right now. I'm in the market for a phone, and I really like their phones.
Oh, man.
But I just
Hey, you need to get the iPhone 6S
Hush.
because
So I'm
it's
not-
waterproof.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know, Google.
That's a whole nother
waterproof.
story.
I know.
Water resistant.
So,
Well,
I'm
my phone recovered, Guru.
I'm not in the market for a phone, but I might be because
Well, I'm desperately.
if HTC doesn't hurry up and come out with something, man, I want that 6P.
Yeah, that's
It's pretty awesome.
It is. It's got a fingerprint reader. If you're curious,
Yeah.
12 megapixel for rear facing camera.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I thought the rear was 22.
Oh, that's right. It was 20 something, wasn't it?
22.
The rear was 20 something.
and the front was either 8 or 12.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
4K display.
Yes.
It's 5. How big is the display? 5.5 inches. Or is it 6? I don't know. I can't remember. It just looks sweet, and I want it. The only thing that we couldn't decide were about the speakers.
Yeah, we're not
Because
sure
I
about
love
the
my
sp-
front-facing speakers.
Yeah, we weren't quite sure about the speakers. I
But
didn't see enough information out
Pretty
there.
sweet looking phone. Oh, and it has USB-C.
Yes, it has USB-C.
And Ryman Rex and I were talking about this. We haven't had Ryman Rex on the show in a while.
Yeah.
Or talked about.
Well,
it.
you know, he has a class right
Yeah,
now.
he
That's
does have
one
a class
problem.
right now. So we were talking about it, and he, because he was talking about pre-ordering it. He was like, "Man, I'm ready for this thing," and then he found out it didn't have wireless charging.
Oh yeah,
and that was kind of a deal breaker for him. And I was like, "But it will recharge the phone to like 90% in 10 minutes."
Yeah,
deal with the cable. And he was like, "Yeah, but I invested all this money and he bought like a $3 charger from Banggood." he invested a month of waiting for it to get there. But man, yeah, that was a little bit upsetting. I guess they couldn't do it since it was an all metal case, but man, I have to say that's pretty sweet. Hopefully that is, because usually that's kind of the, like when they came out with your phone, that was kind of the precursor of things to come.
They said that this phone had the lowest amount of pre-installed apps, and that's what they claimed in the speech, I guess, if you will.
I'll tell you, like if HTC upsets me with their next thing, and I'm telling you, I'm an HTC fan.
Yeah,
I'll be making the switch to Huawei.
To Huawei, yeah. Huawei is the company, not Yahweh.
Yeah, not Yahweh,
but Huawei.
But still, just as hard to pronounce.
Yeah,
Huawei starts with H.
It does.
They're a Chinese company, Chinese national company.
Yes, that's true.
And there's some concerns there.
There is some concerns there.
They're also they haven't been caught yet, but to me, they're famous for copying other products.
Oh yeah, there's no question on
but
that.
As far as the other stuff they make, I mean, they do make some pretty trying to say this without saying it, but they make some pretty large claims about some of their other products that they've had. They've talked about being the first in wireless X, being able to do like 10 gig speeds over wireless.
Right.
Kind of how we're on AC now. I think it was going to be called X. I can't remember, but I mean, we're like leaps and bounds ahead. Of course, what I'm curious about is 5G, I guess, is going to make its debut at the Olympics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's supposed to be like insane speeds because what, I know we've had this conversation about 4G and the wonderful marketing that is being done, because 4G is not the standard of 4G. When you're standing still, you're supposed to be getting a gigabit speed,
right?
And in motion, 100 megs. And don't quote me on this, but I want to say 5G was like, I want to say they said 100 gigs. It was something ridiculous. I was like, I had to do a double take. I was like, what? That can't be right. But I mean, it's going to be insane.
Wow.
I mean, like if you could get that at your house, and that's why I'm saying they're going to have to do unlimited data, because that's going to be what's going to go at your house.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be
these
running.
Cable companies aren't going to like that.
Well,
Just saying.
I mean, they can just jump on the train and do it too. But I mean, man, the amount of bandwidth they're talking about is insane. I'm going to look that up while you're talking. Well, it's just fifth generation. So I'm going to look that up. Keep talking.
Keep talking. Okay, keep talking.
Keep talking
about the phone.
Keep talking, Michael.
About the phone. Well, I want one, but
I would like one.
Let's see if they'll send us a review unit. We can review it, and we'll tell everybody.
Nobody.
How
20 gigs per second.
20 gigs.
It'll debut at the 2018 Winter Olympics.
Well, I tell you what won't be debuting at the Olympics.
What's that?
Uber is not going to be in Rio de Janeiro.
Why not?
Well, they're on a big fight about going on with Uber. Other countries are banning Uber.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of them. The mayors of some of these cities have signed ordinances to ban Uber.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I sent Johnny Jett a message this week. He wrote me back because I was asking him whether or not he thought this would really come back to America and there'd be a real fight here. And he said he hoped not.
Yeah, Johnny Jett, he's a very big supporter of Uber. I've never personally done Uber, so I really can't comment.
I haven't either, and I find it odd.
Yeah, but
our whole lives we're told to not get in stranger's car. And
Yeah,
now we're calling them.
I know.
And here's the
It is
thing:
odd.
I have a friend that lives in New York in Manhattan, and
Yeah.
when I came up there to visit her, she's like, "Do not get in a black SUV. If if you need a car to take you somewhere, if it ain't prearranged through a car service, then make sure you take a yellow taxi." And just a couple months ago, when I came off the cruise, and the cruise ship come up right there in Manhattan, you get off the cruise terminal, go through customs immigration, and I need a ride to the airport.
Yeah.
No, not the airport. I'm going to my hotel. I stay there. I'm
Yeah.
thinking the year before. Anyway, I need a ride
Yep.
to get somewhere. And of course, these guys out there, let me take you in my car. And you have to go all the way across the street to the taxi stand. But there's folks out there, and it's not Uber, because Uber you can kind of somewhat prearrange.
Yeah.
But
So what's the deal with the black SUVs?
they'll take you like 5 blocks and charge you $50. They'll rip you off because they're not like legally sanctioned by the taxi limousine bureau.
Gotcha. Yeah, they've got to buy.
And see, and Uber's the same way. Uber's not in that group because I've flown in New York in the past.
Yeah.
Because when you fly into LaGuardia Airport, and I know
LaGuardia.
Johnny Jet can probably talk about this. There's not really a whole lot of, you can't take the train from
Right.
LaGuardia, which is outside of Manhattan, into the city, Manhattan.
Yeah.
So one of your choices is a car service. It was me and another friend. We were going together, so we split a car service ride, and
$150.
it was like 50, not 150. But anyway, but we set it up ahead of time. When you got there, you called the car service company.
Yeah.
And they told you, look for this car number. And it's a black Lincoln, which they're all black Lincolns, but you looking for a number in the windshield. And if a few minutes later, the guy pulls up and he, loads your stuff up and go. But those are under the same, government regulation as the taxis.
Yeah.
And most big cities have some sort of a governing body over that taxi limousine service.
Yep.
And Uber's kind of trying to circumvent that.
Yep.
And they don't like it. And I understand they don't like it.
Yeah. It's a fight in a lot of different countries already.
Yeah.
It is.
There was a big one in France.
That's correct. That's the same deal.
But let me ask
Still
you.
going
Let me ask you
on.
about
Yeah.
this because I'm not big on the Google stuff. I watched a little bit of this event, but not
course
really
not.
much. Yeah, I know. I'm the apple juicer. Sorry.
Go ahead.
What about this Pixel C, this new tablet that they
It's
announced?
interesting. I did see that.
10.2 inches
Yes.
with a detachable keyboard. So it's like the iPad Pro, like the Surface Pro.
Except the keyboard is got magnets in it, and the actual tablet does, and so they match up, and so it'll lay down on the keyboard basically attached to the tablet and make it one, where you don't have to use it at all. Or you can slide it, and it slides up on this little lip and makes it angleable. That's not the right word, but you can angle. Yeah, that's not the right word. You can angle the tablet to whatever you wanted to.
That's
to be able
better
to
than the
use
little kickstand on the Surface, just from how you describe it. I mean, I have to.
The way it looked like it worked seamlessly. Here's the problem.
I like the
Here
kickstand.
again. Here's the problem. God, this goes every time. It has
another rant coming on.
No, it has chromium.
Okay.
I just gotta. I can't use it.
I could tell you this right now. If I were to make the switch to Chromium OS at work, I could do everything I need to do in Chromium OS.
I could not.
No, I couldn't.
I guarantee you could.
No.
Yeah.
I don't have to get. You don't have to guarantee me. I know I couldn't.
Can I use SQL Developer with
Absolutely.
it? No. Can I use Internet Explorer?
Well, you can.
I have to use
something
Internet
better than it.
Explorer for some products I support.
Well, maybe. Let's see. I'm sure you can download.
I mean, it
Internet
uses
Explorer.
like ActiveX and stuff. So like I'm stuck in.
Well, they're
Okay,
getting
well-
rid of ActiveX.
We're not, anyway.
Well, the
But
point
here's
is,
the thing: the price is $500. You can get a Surface 3 for $500, the entry level one,
yeah, I know.
and that's a full Windows computer.
Actually, the keyboard's extra.
Yeah, but it's extra on the Surface 3 too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, $199.
Yeah, but
Something like that's not $129.
You
That's
get an
$129.
IE tab.
Sorry,
for
you know what
Chrome
I was
Sports
thinking about? I was
ActiveX.
thinking about the dock.
yeah.
The dock that comes with that.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, one.
we'll see. But hey, Google send us one. We'll review it.
Here
That
goes
is
Guru. I'm
the
sending you
Guru at
something.
HeyTechiesShow.com.
There you go.
I'm sending you something.
Okay.
No, send it to me. You said you don't keep up with Google.
I know.
There you go. Boom.
Well, he said he would
Chrome
try.
plugin IE tab.
Well,
Try it out tomorrow.
Yeah, but will it do act?
But will it work
It will
on
do
Chrome?
ActiveX.
Will it work on Chromium?
Well, they will work on the Chrome
Yeah,
browser inside
it
of
should.
Chromium.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have a Chromebook tested on.
Test it in Chrome.
That's not the same. It's not in Windows.
Do a VM.
Okay.
I think that's the point. It's not in Windows. Speaking of Windows. Speaking of Windows.
Speaking of Windows.
Speaking of Windows. We keep saying it's like a rap. I'm sorry. I need to cough at about the time I do these things. Microsoft has some updates that apparently they had to pull back.
They also have some updates that weren't supposed to be updates.
Yeah, that's true too. They had a weird update where it wasn't supposed to be an update. It was a bunch of gobbledygook or something like that.
Different language. People thought that the update servers had been compromised, which I mean, it's definitely a possibility that could always happen. But yeah, that update got pulled back, and one person has claimed that it successfully, because the thing was that it didn't successfully install, but one guy claims it finally did, and it has foobarred his laptop.
But now that was with Windows 7, I think.
Yes.
This is Windows 10. They were expecting some basically almost like what would you call it? But he's got to reposition his mic. Great. You would call it, I guess, service pack, almost like a service pack.
Oh yeah. But they're calling it something different now.
They are called Threshold 2, which that
used to reach the threshold.
Yeah,
it's a service pack.
It's like a service pack. It's really what it amounts to. But I think
like one of my professors in college, but not quite.
Right.
When you said like, you'd say, well, like but not quite.
Mm-hmm.
Or you get mad at you and say it's not like anything. Anyway, sorry.
Well, it is like
no way.
Yeah. Okay. Enough of that.
All right.
Like no way. Well, anyway, it's out there. Eventually, I guess they'll get that updated. I think it had some issues.
I'm telling you, man, 10 updating all the time. It's killing me. It is killing.
Let me tell you, my Windows 10 machine in my office today, it rebooted. Like I had stuff open and the thing rebooted and did updates without me even doing anything. It's after you came by, Michael.
Wow.
Scary.
Yeah, I was like,
hey, it's been enough time. We're rebooting.
I'm like, really? That's kind of scary because, like, I know that's not my machine. I do my day-to-day work on.
Yeah.
But like, I'll leave stuff open when I leave. I'll just lock my workstation and leave.
Well, I'll tell you this. To me,
scary.
This is a different type of security concern because I know of an organization that the application that they use for locking their doors. With the mag locks.
Yeah.
When Windows restarts the keypads, because that's a service that does it. Now, this is part of this is the people that make this program need to update their software so it will start up as a service before login, but it won't start up until after you log in. So somebody with a physical key has to open it, and that could. Depending upon this, now for them, it's not super crucial, but say if that's put in some place that is crucial, of course, then they should be running on a server anyway and not a desktop OS. It can have some big implications.
So could this. You never know.
We've already started one rumor tonight.
Let's start some more.
Well, rumors galore. The Guru usually finds some really good ones. But YouTube is rumored to be introducing a new subscription service format for users. Now, basically, the subscription, ironically, is going to be $10 a month.
Of course.
And everybody, that seems like the
$9.99.
That seems like the new $5.
It's the price point.
Is everybody's $10 in you now?
Yeah. And it will allow you to not have ads. I think that's basically.
I'm sorry, I don't watch enough YouTube to.
Yeah, see, that's my problem.
And I do watch some stuff on YouTube, and it doesn't bother me. I mean, I'll either watch it, and if it's one of those you can
Click
skip after a few
fast.
seconds. I mean, I understand that's how they pay the bills.
Oh yeah.
But if somebody wanting to pay for premium service,
sure.
You know, it's
it might be good that they offer it.
Well, it's just like at my church for several years, we live streamed our worship services live through Ustream,
right?
Which was a great service. But we didn't, you know, if we didn't pay for the pro version, which the pro you didn't have ads,
right?
And I mean, some people were saying, well, we watched it online, and these ads just started playing, and it's like, well, it's free. Like, well, how much it costs? Like, it's $100. It's like it was going to be like $1,200 a year.
Yeah.
I said, we just got rid of it. But, you know, you pay for what you get, so to speak. You know, if it's free, it's, you know, free, and you got to, you know, deal with that.
So will the next Apple Watch be round, Guru?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. This is in the
they're too.
I would not
too hip to be square. So.
Well, it's not square right now. It's got round corners.
Well, that's a rumor, but they give reasons. But I don't. I'm going with no on that.
I would not buy it if it was round. Now, here's the thing.
No, I don't.
This article does. What now?
He said he wouldn't buy it. Period. But we already knew that.
It won't work with anything I have.
I think the article also mentioned there's a possibility that they could offer both round and rectangular.
Well, now that rumor I might actually buy.
That could be more true than only round. I just don't buy that.
Yeah.
But I will say this, talking about round, Bruce sent me a screenshot from his
Moto 360.
Moto 360. We're doing some testing of our new upcoming MyJSU mobile app update coming very soon, which it means we've submitted to the App Store for approval. But anyway, the screenshot you sent me actually was square.
It was. And the reason why, I mean, because that's just
the square peg does fit in a round hole.
There you go. But that's part of Andrew Wear. Android Wear. I had to look at you while I said it.
Yeah, thanks.
So, but yes, because most of Android wearable stuff is that square rectangle.
Yeah.
I mean, everything on this, it's just kind of, it either curves it or it's just cut it off. Yeah. So
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, but it takes screenshots.
And right before we cut to our last break, Microsoft is it's coming up. Microsoft, according to what rumors say, Microsoft is scheduled to release the Pro 4, the Surface Pro 4.
I want to know when.
Well,
I want to know specs.
Well, this, according to a Chinese news website, the Surface Pro is going to launch with the 2 screen sizes this year. They say 12 inches and 14 inches.
And I've heard up to 1 terabyte solid state drive. And it's going to be
that'll
thinner.
Be pricey. One terabyte.
1 terabyte.
Wireless charging.
I don't know about that.
Okay,
I made that up.
Oh yeah, you're right. Other rumors suggest 1
right.
terabyte.
No,
wireless charging. No. I'm talking about Bruce. One of the things they say here, Bruce, is 128 gig, 256, 512, and possibly a terabyte. Oh, resolution of 2560 by 1600.
So about what it is now.
Yeah, it doesn't say that's not 4K.
Nope. No, it's not.
Nope, it's not.
But
now these are rumored. They're saying it may likely introduce the USB Type-C port.
I hope it does. Really hope it does.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want it to come out. It needs to come out quick, soon, like before Christmas.
But there are people, well, I don't know how many, but there are people wanting to see their new phones. I'm like,
who, Windows?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Excitement about that. Seriously.
That's gonna be like a little. Oh yeah, hey, and we're Surface Pro 4, and we also come out with a new phone.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and sneak that in there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
By the way, we're gonna have a new phone.
Yeah, and by the way,
one more thing.
Probably one of the most common things you hear is, "Well, I used to own one."
Yeah.
Gamecock Auto Spa, part of the Extreme Auto Spa family of car washes located at 1011 Pelham Road South in Jacksonville, is ready to clean your car and get it back to looking like new. Gamecock Auto Spa offers different washes with a foam bath, tire cleaner, clear coat sealer, wheel cleaner, and much more at affordable prices. JSU students, military, and senior citizens receive a special deal with a valid ID. For more information, the number is 256-403-0905. Gamecock Auto Spa, a proud patron of WLJS WLJS.
Looking to cure that sweet tooth of yours? Mad Hatter Cupcake Shop is now proudly serving the Jacksonville area at their new location at 16 Public Square on the Square. Mad Hatter is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 9 p.m. and they are closed on Sunday and Monday. For additional information, be sure to check out their Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Mad Hat Cupcakes, and their website, www.madhatcakes.com.
Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait time. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Jacksonville Bookstore offers supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to Scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. They are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show.
Sometimes I wonder how I'd ever make it.
Okay, Bruce.
I was just singing for it.
I know. You were doing a great job, too. Anyways, acting it out, singing. Very good job, Bruce. Well, this is the part of the show where we turn it over to our good friend, the Guru, for This Week in Tech History.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there, folks. I'm multitasking.
Yeah, he was checking out that IE tab for Chrome.
I did install IE tab for Chrome on my MacBook, but I really can't test it because I don't have anything I can get to that's like I can tell if it's broke or not. But I will test it this week and I'll report back next week.
Excellent.
Fair enough. Fair enough, Bruce.
Sure,
absolutely. Because I just found that on a whim, so I hope it works.
Well, I'll let you know.
Because Bruce is never wrong.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Just ask him.
This Week in Tech History, September 27th, 1996. That's 19 years ago. You want to guess what it is?
Wait. Oh, yeah. So when was this?
September 27th, 1996. 19 years ago.
96. Pick up sticks. We would have had the Olympics.
For those playing along at home, Bruce has no clue. Even though this is a shared Google Doc, he does not look at he does not look at shared Google Doc at all. So 96. Michael and I do know what this is, but Bruce
has
does
to
not.
do with a hacker.
What's his name? I want to say Sputnik.
You're close.
You gave it away.
I didn't give it away. He'll never know.
What is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue because he can't. He has just been what?
Wish we had like a buzzer. 5,
Hey, you
4,
just Kevin Mitnick? No. What is? Gosh. So many people are probably yelling at me.
I think our that must have installed it, Guru.
Oh yeah, it probably did because of how Chrome works.
I can't remember
Hopefully
his name.
Hopefully the
Hangout
Hangouts is still working.
Anyway,
what's his name?
Famous hacker Kevin Mitnick.
I got it right. Mitnick. I was right.
They don't count though because you got help from Michael.
No, I didn't. He said hacker, and I was like, oh yeah, Kevin Mitnick.
Famous hacker Kevin Mitnick is indicted on 25 charges for a 2.5 year hacking spree.
We're gonna have to give me that because all he said was hacker. I mean, a lot of stuff happened in '96.
Yeah, we'll give it to you. So you're
Kevin Mitnick.
So you're 1 for 2. What? Anyway. Anyway, did our hangout end early? No, that's okay. Sorry, folks. Anyway, 19 years ago is when he went on a 2.5 year hacking spree, and he got indicted on This Week 19 years ago. And police believe that he had stolen millions of dollars in software from different corporations. Based on the charge he was indicted on, he faced up to 200 years in prison if found guilty. And he ended up being sentenced. He was found guilty, and was sentenced to 46 months plus an additional 22 months for violating the terms of his 1989 supervised release. He'd gotten in trouble, I guess, before. And anyway, So he's spent a total of 68 months in prison. He was released to supervised release. That don't sound right, but anyway, he was put on supervised release on January 21st of 2000.
He was a nonviolent offender. So I mean,
yeah, and that's understandable. But one of the agreements about his supervised release, he could not have access to any
computer,
basically anything attached to the internet. He cannot touch. So it's very limited. But he was finally released from all his supervisory release stuff on January 21st of 2003. So he couldn't use the internet for 8 years is what it ended up being. And as a little bonus, we're going to put a link in the show notes. There is, he actually got back on the internet for the first time in 8 years live on national television on Tech TV on the show, The Screensavers, for those geeks that remember the show. Like
one day we're going to have either Leo Laporte or Patrick Norton or even Kevin Rose.
Yeah, we will.
As a caller. And I'm going to freak out.
I'm still waiting on Johnny Jett to get us some tickets out to Northern California so we can go see.
I don't know what I'll do if one of them come on the show.
Anyway, I've got a video that I found on YouTube, as a matter of fact, that is from when Kevin Mitnick was released from his, being able to use the internet again. So I shared that with Michael this weekend.
Man, those were the days.
Anyway, so that's this week in tech history. And I spent way too long talking about that, so I apologize.
No, that's fine.
That was some good memories.
Real quickly, Bruce, what's your hack of the week?
Well, I was gonna have one, and now I have two.
Okay.
So the first one, which has kind of fallen to the wayside for the second one, but the first one was hackers have published almost 15 gigs worth of password data, donation records, and source code taken from Patreon funding websites. So it's for artists that need funding. You can be a patron. So they've lost a good bit of personal information, including, like I said, password data, donation records, and source code. But the big one to me, and it was kind of confusing at first, and this was going down a little bit before the show, because it had to deal with T-Mobile and Experian, and T-Mobile's kind of come out and said, this is important to us. We're sorry this happened. We're going to take care of it. But really, it's Experian's fault. If you don't know who Experian is, they're a credit reporting agency. They have been breached, and over 15 million, because that's who T-Mobile uses to do their credit checks whenever you get pre-qualified for a plan or phone. Over 15 million of their customers' data has been breached. So I'm sure this is going to go deeper than just those that were T-Mobile customers. This is probably going to be the entire United States of America. So, it's going to be. I haven't looked to see what Experian said, but Experian holds credit data for hundreds of millions of Americans and is one of the three major reporting bureaus. I'm not sure if it's going to be a major one now. Who knows? Maybe nothing's going to happen to him. I don't know. Probably nothing going to happen. That's usually the way things go. But so yeah, Experian's been breached. So that credit reporting that you pay for or that you have
now
as a
they've
service,
been breached.
Kind of pointless now. For at least if it's Experian,
this could potentially be bigger than the OPM hack. Just saying. Depending on the extent,
it could potentially.
Because if you're anybody American, I mean, most folks have got some sort of credit report record.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so depending on how much data they got.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious how much this could be. This could be larger than the OPM.
Gosh, and
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
every week we got something, and it's not like we go looking for it; it just falls in our lap.
Yeah. Well, now we're going to turn to our overclock stack.
Ready to go.
All right. Did you see that?
Ready to go.
LG is bringing an ultralight laptop to the market. It's called Gram.
How much does it weigh?
Well, it weighs less than a kilogram, 980 grams, or 2.16 pounds.
Wow.
It's lighter than even the 11-inch MacBook Air.
Oh, wow.
It says it sports a 13-inch with a Core i5 processor. It's going to have 128 gigs of storage.
Screen, just in case those were wondering.
Yes. Yeah. It's supposed to have 1080p quality on a small device like that.
I'm surprised they're not going to go ahead and try and do 4K on it. That seems the way everybody's moving, or at least
probably trying to save
ultra.
them.
It's ultra portable, not 4K.
I mean, it could be portable,
ultra portable.
I mean,
there's a lot of the
no...
MacBook Air, and the MacBook Air's light is air. Take that, Apple.
All right. So Apple pulls iFixit app after it tears down the new Apple TV. The iFixit is learning the hard lesson about the importance of honoring developer agreements. iFixit went out, broke down an Apple TV. So what did Apple do? Pulled their app out of the store.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, iFixit's app wasn't that great. But anyways, to me, it's, I guess, tit for tat.
Yeah, you violate their terms. They
get over it, Apple. Get over it.
I'm kind of surprised you had an Apple story at all. That's like the first time ever, Bruce.
Well, it's kind of bad on Apple, just to be honest.
Well, here's another Apple story. Apple pulls older software from purchased tab, and I used air quotes there, in the App Store. Some of the older Apple apps, like the old version of Aperture, iPhoto, OS X Line, OS X Mountain Line, and OS X Mavericks, have disappeared from the App Store. And some of those were free. And I use that term very loosely too, because you're paying for it somewhere. But if you had purchased it, and I'm using air quotes every time I say purchased. If you'd purchased it, it shows up in your list of purchased apps, and you go get it later. But they've removed those where you can't even get to them at all now. So there's really no clear reason why they did this, because if you're on older hardware, you may need to use those older versions of the operating system, but you can't anymore. So Apple's like, too bad. Go buy a new device.
Yeah. Chicago police last week, or it was really a week old, more than a week old, are warning about robbers posing as Uber drivers. And this came from
get in a car with strangers.
Yeah, that's a good point. As we've said before, obviously, these guys aren't using Uber app. They're just happening to take advantage of people outside, said an officer for the Chicago Police Department. We don't want people to think it's unsafe to hire an Uber driver. Just know that just know what car you're getting into. So apparently they're just showing up, and they'll have a fake Uber sticker. And you think that's the actual vehicle, and it's not.
Oh, Chicago.
And then they're robbing them, which is not good.
With guns that they're not supposed to have in Chicago.
Right. Sure.
So 500 million users at risk of compromise via unpatched WinRAR bug. A while back, I moved to 7-zip. After some arguments back and forth, I was like, all right, 7-zip wins. I will switch away from WinRAR.
I still have WinRAR.
Well, so the issue is located in the text and icon function of the text to display in SFX window module. So basically, somebody can go in there, put some stuff in, package it up, let you open that file, and you unwittingly have allowed them to be able to do remote execution on your machine.
Oh,
so it's for beta versions of WinRAR version 5.3, released since February.
I don't run beta software.
So there's no mention of this bug being fixed, though.
Oh, there's your kicker.
There you go.
All right. Well, mysterious no tech zone signs appear in San Francisco's Alamo Square, which I don't know where that's at. But anyway, these signs appeared a few weeks ago. I mean, it looked very official. No tech zone, no cell phones, tablets, laptops, or smart devices permitted. Violators subject up to a $300 fine. And nobody knows how they appeared, but they looked very official. They were officially, mounted on, street lights and stuff. There's pictures on this article. You can see them, but and people started posting on the internet and talking about it, and then they went away one day. So there's a mystery behind the no tech zone.
Thinking about doing that on my street corner, except putting stop signs, making it a 4-way stop instead of a 2-way. So
anyway,
they got the stop signs on the wrong streets.
Actually, back on September 11th, there was in a school district, the Antelope Valley School Transportation Agency. Sorry, I keep trying to say that twice.
Transportory.
Yeah, Lancaster, California, actually. But real quick, they had a school district where they had a child die. It was actually an autistic student. They were left on a bus.
Oh gosh.
And so they're looking at implementing a system that does iris scans. It implements iris scans to, I guess, to somehow
know when they got on and got on.
Yeah. Yeah, it has something to do with that.
Check in, check out.
Eye beacons.
Eye beacons, yeah. Well, it wasn't funny about this kid's death.
I know it's not.
I know, but eye beacons, yeah, that's
funny.
No, that part is, yeah.
Put an eye beacon in your pocket.
All right, so the some guy bought Google.com from Google, had it for a whole minute. So
a whole minute.
Yep. So he actually used to work for Google, and he was up late one night, went to Google's website buying service and noticed that Google.com was available. Instead of the gray sad face that indicates a domain has an owner, the green happy face showed that it was available. So how much did he pay for the most trafficked domain in the world?
$12.
$12. But the scary thing was that he didn't receive emails saying, hey, your domain's ready or anything like that. When he logged into his webmaster controls, he had full reign of Google's domain. So he had access for at least 1 minute, but Google Domains quickly canceled the sale a minute later, saying someone had registered the site before he could, and he was refunded his $12. He also had access to some, I guess, some private data that he let Google's security team know about. They're currently not sure if it had been a bug in Google's domain or the company simply failed to renew its own domain when the time came. So a Google representative said they're looking into the issue. Like I said, nothing is currently, they're not currently noticing anything unusual. So this isn't the first time something like this has happened. This happened to Microsoft back in 2003 when it failed to renew its own hotmail.co.uk web address. Unlike the case of Google, where Google quickly canceled it, Microsoft had to ask the buyer to return it to them. So at least this guy can say, I owned Google for a minute. So pretty neat.
It's pretty neat. And since Bruce took too long to explain that, we'll have to save my pick for next week.
He took too long.
That's okay.
What's the pick? Ready to go?
We got like 10 seconds.
Well, you are listening to WLJS Jacksonville, Alabama, and this was the Hey Techies Show, and we were so glad to have you with us tonight, and we hope to catch you next week, where Bruce will say some amazing things.
As always.
Hey Techies Show. Have a good night.
The Hey Techies Show is produced by Mike Stedham and co-produced by The Guru. Station manager is Billy Dunn. Join us again next time for another exciting installment of the Hey Techies Show. It's going to be great, maybe.